Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to the UKG match preview. Yes, United are playing away to Newcastle tomorrow. Late night game for guys in Kenya, in Nairobi, like myself. Hopefully, I won't doze off like last week when there was that Everton game. So today we are going to have a preview, going to look at the team news. We're going to also to look at key matchups, key battles, as well as the predicted lineup, my predicted lineup. Get involved in the comment section below. Let me know which lineup you'll want, as well as the score prediction. We'll have a look at the score prediction. So welcome. Karibu sana, karibuni sana, feel at home. Yeah, it's a good Tuesday. It's a good day. A lot has been happening in terms of the Manchester United world of news. There are a lot of reports coming out, expensive defenders being linked to the club, as well as some coaches have been linked. You can see the reports there, some of the news there at the bottom of the screen. For example, Mateus Nunes is attracting interest from Manchester United, Arsenal, and Newcastle. So, anyway, we are going to chat about that once we end the preview. So, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys on YouTube, guys on Facebook, Kick, Twitch, as well as TikTok. Make sure you also hit that follow button. But, guys on TikTok, jump over to YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and your comments get highlighted on screen. I can't do that on TikTok, but can't do that on YouTube. So let's get this show started. Newcastle will host Manchester United tomorrow. A tough fixture. Away fixtures have been tricky for Manchester United. And United last time scraped a win, a 1-0 win versus Newcastle. And we've seen United so far are doing a good job in terms of winning matches. Carrick is doing a very, very good job. And for the first time in a while, United are having home and away wins. Home and away wins. For example, Crystal Palace, home and away wins. So Newcastle, they have a couple of injuries. We are going to look at the team news for Newcastle. I had forgotten to open my notes regarding the team news. So a couple of injuries. So let's go straight ahead to the team news. Let me make sure I have my notes ready. So United do have a couple of injuries. They do have a couple of players that are missing. And injuries are starting to be many, For example, we saw Luke Shaw going out injured last weekend versus Crystal Palace. Maguire was also substituted. He looked like he was not feeling well, or probably because of the yellow. But from the reports coming out is that Carrick said that Maguire was not feeling good, and that's why he was hooked off and substituted. So the Manchester United team news is sorry, the two confirmed players that won't be available are Lisandro Martinez and Patrick Dogu. Patrick Dogu has a long-term injury. We know that he was to be out for 10 weeks. He's still midway through those 10 weeks. So we won't see him in that game, as well as Martinez. Martinez, he's become more or less an injury-prone player. He's a very, very important player for Manchester United. We've seen whenever Lisandro Martinez plays, the United defense plays better. There's ball progression from defense to midfield to attack. He's a very, very important player for United. When he came back, we saw an upturn of form from the team, by the team. So Lisandro Martinez is a big, big miss. So we still have center backs that are available that can cover that gap. There is Len Yoro, there is Aiden Heaven that can come in and play in that position. Mason Mount is also another confirmed player that won't be available for that game, but he is making progress based on the Man United report. is that Mason Mount is making progress in his recovery. So Lisandro Martinez has been out for the past couple of games, while Mason Mount is making progress on his recovery. Patrick Dogu is a longer term absence, and De Ligt has also not played since the win at Crystal Palace in November. So you look at that list, Martinez, Mount, Dogu, and De Ligt are the confirmed absentees. Carrick said that Luke Shaw and Maguire, they were withdrawn due to feeling ill in the victory over Crystal Palace. We also know that Luke Shaw got that ankle injury in the Palace game. So they are going to be monitored tomorrow morning to see whether they are fit to play in that game. And in my predicted squad, I didn't have Luke Shaw because looking at that ankle injury, it might need some precaution. I will just play Mazraoui there. We are going to look at my predicted lineup. So those are the confirmed players that will be out. Maguire and Luke Shaw are a doubt, but Carrick was saying that they weren't feeling good. We still got a little bit of time to the game, and we'll just have to see how they feel. So we'll obviously give them every chance. No, it wasn't injury. It's just both of them weren't feeling too good. So yeah, it's one of those things really. But we'll just have to see how they are today and tomorrow morning. So that was Carrick answering questions regarding Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire in the pre-match interview. So Sheshko, of course, started the last game. We are going to look at the predicted lineup. He's available. Is he going to start? Let me know also in the comment section whether you think Sheshko should start, or would Michael Carrick go back to the false nine with Mbumo and Ahmad. Ahmad came on in the second half of the Palace game and performed quite well. Also, there are reports that Ahmad has posted a cryptic message on Snapchat saying, basically hinting at him moving away from the club or out of the club, looking for a transfer out. And it's quite cryptic. It's quite, how will I put it? It's causing a lot of talk, considering that he was benched in that Palace game. Then a few days later, he comes out and posts such kind of a message. It's more or less like the behavior you used to see from other Manchester United players whenever they did not get game time. They used to come out and post cryptic messages suggesting that they are not happy and not starting games or not playing, and that they need to move so that they can play. Of course, at this point in time, with the World Cup coming up, with World Cup squads about to be mentioned, that is the provisional squads, a lot of players want to keep playing. They want to show their national team coaches that they deserve to go to the World Cup, you know. Of course, some players are guaranteed. For example, I know Ahmad. Ahmad can't miss the World Cup. The performances he had at AFCON, he can't miss that World Cup squad. So anyway, back to the team news. Before I read the comments. I'm seeing a couple of comments there. So the Newcastle team news is that Nick Voltamade is a doubt for the hosts, as well as Livramento. Both Livramento may not be back from his injury. That is the fullback. And Nick Voltamade, we know that Newcastle spent a lot of money to get him after missing out on Benjamin Sheshko. So Nick Voltamade, I hope he misses that game, because that guy is a threat. He's tall. He's very good on the ball. He has long legs, obviously, because of his height. And he's good in set pieces. He's good with crosses. And we know Newcastle is a very, very physical team. Another miss is Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes missing is an advantage for United, because we know that midfield. That Newcastle midfield is very solid. It's very physical, very athletic. And missing someone like Bruno Guimaraes, it's a good thing. So key midfielder Bruno Guimaraes is definitely absent, while Jacob Ramsey, who scored in the 3-2 defeat to Everton last time out, came off feeling unwell but has recovered. So there has been a bug, some sort of illness that has hit Newcastle recently. When I looked at those reports, when I actually saw those reports, I started digging, I started like reading through. To me, it sounded a bit suspicious, you know. Sometimes coaches can come up with such kind of mind games. Fergie used to do it, Mourinho used to do it. They can say, oh, a certain player is not is not available for the game, and they end up playing. You remember one of the mind games that was played recently by a Manchester United head coach, that was Amorim, was that Bruno wouldn't be available. And then the team news came out, the starting 11:30s, and Bruno was in the squad. The fans were worried that Bruno was injured, he couldn't play. And of course, the opponents were prepared to play against a team that Bruno is not in. So sometimes managers can decide to play that mind game. It's not illegal to play mind games when it comes to football. They can't say a bug hit the club, a couple of players won't be available because of illness. Then all of a sudden during the game you see them playing. So Bruno Guimaraes is definitely absent. Jacob Ramsey is a doubt because he came off feeling unwell. Nick Voltomade as well. Is a doubt because he was feeling ill. So Nick has come down ill. Eddie Howe revealed at his pre-match press conference. There's potentially an illness in the squad. He hasn't trained, but we will give him every chance tomorrow. So those are the reports that there is an illness going around at Newcastle. And of course, for me, I don't believe those reports until I actually see the team sheets. Until I see the team sheets. Because as I've said, managers have a way of playing mind games. So Eddie Howe continued to say that Jacob trained fine yesterday. Tino Livramento is getting closer and closer. This game possibly comes too soon for him, but we are desperate for him to become available. So other players that are confirmed to be on the sidelines are Emil Kraft, Fabian Shah, and Louis Miley. So Fabian Shah is also a big miss for Newcastle because we know he's a really good defender. He's a really good player. He's very good in set pieces. He's very good in ball progression and all that. But it's an advantage for United. No loss for us. No loss for us. So that's the team news. Let me go through some of the comments before we head over to the next section of the preview, and that is key battles. We have to look at key battles. Where will the game be won? So let's see some of the comments here. Let's see. I have to scroll all the way up, guys. Sorry, this is on TikTok. Thanks for everyone who's joining. We have a lot of guys who are joining. Thank you very, very much. Lena, big up, Lena. You're asking, hi, bro. What do you think about tomorrow? We need to do something about Newcastle. Yes, we definitely need. United need 3 points. United are at that stage where I keep saying, I'm sure I'm sounding like now like a broken record. United need to treat each game like a cup final, a do or die situation, win or nothing. For example, that game, that Crystal Palace game, I liked the mentality. That's the sort of mentality United have. Not going for a draw, going for a win. So assuming Newcastle score first, United don't settle for a draw. They score an equalizer, they score a second one, they score a third one. So, Lena, I agree with you that we need to do something about Newcastle. Newcastle is a very, very physical side, very athletic side. They don't give you space, especially that midfield. Now, going to the key battle side, mentioning part of it is United need to make sure they boss the midfield. In the Crystal Palace game, there were gaps in that midfield. It was easy for Crystal Palace to go through the midfield without a looping ball or a long kick forward. No. Crystal Palace were not like kicking the ball behind the defenders for strikers to run onto and score. No, they were just passing around easily. So Kobe, Casemiro, Bruno, whoever it is that will be asked to cover that central midfield area, they need to do a very, very good job. As well as Manchester United need to take advantage of set pieces. Newcastle have not been having a good time. Their form has dipped quite a bit. When the season started, they were quite strong, but now they are not having a good moment. I actually watched a replay of the Everton versus Newcastle game, and they did well. They actually were mounting a comeback. They were mounting a comeback. Everton were leading. Newcastle mounted a comeback, but eventually they lost. So United can't afford to waste chances to lose points. So big up Lena for that comment. Mark Wafula, you're asking, what are new signings of Manchester United? Currently, we don't have any new signings. We only have one backroom staff member that has been recruited. The details are in the ticker. I can't remember the name. I usually have weaknesses remembering names. But United have recruited someone to deal with the under 21s recruitment, the academy. So United are making a lot of changes in the backroom staff, which is a good thing. It's building a good foundation for the team. So no new signings. Currently, it's still rumors. We don't know the plan for United. We'll have a chat about transfers, basically in the just chatting section after the preview. So big up Mark for that. Mark, I hope you remind me to speak about the transfers if I forget. Edu Wayne, how do you see the game tomorrow? First of all, big up Edu. Believe this is the first time I'm seeing you on the chats, as well as Lena. Big up, and everyone who's new, everyone who's been coming onto the platform. Welcome. How do you see the game tomorrow? Tomorrow's game will be tough. I'll talk about it in the key battles as well as prediction. But overall, basically an overview, a brief, Edu, is the game tomorrow is not easy. Those are the sort of fixtures United usually struggle in. Those are the sort of games United usually struggle in. Let me see any other comment before we continue. Any other comment? So, guys, feel free to post comments. I usually like going through all of them, all of them if possible. Kongo, big up, Kongo. Thanks for also joining the platform. You are saying we need new fullbacks. Yeah, we need a lot of players. So, looking at the key battles, I've just mentioned about the midfield and the fact that Bruno Guimaraes is not on the pitch, is not available tomorrow, is a big advantage for United. That midfield pairing of Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes, it's very good. Sorry, it's very good. Very good. And you look at our midfield, Casemiro and Kobe, you look at their legs, you look at their pace, you look at their athleticism, they'll have to work harder. So Michael Carrick and his coaching staff need to come up with a formation, a tactic that will help United win that midfield battle. You look at Newcastle games, that is head to head with United. Newcastle games against other big clubs, they usually invest a lot of their tactics in midfield. They want to make sure that they win their battles in midfield. And Newcastle are very rough. Newcastle are very physical. They will hound, they will kick shins, they will put in sliding tackles, they will press hard, they make sure that they are disrupting play. So United need to move the ball quicker. They need to have possession and move the ball quicker. Because one of the things that United have been doing in the last 2-3 games is the ball has been moving slower. A player is taking 2-3 touches more. A player is running with the ball 10, 15, 20 yards before passing it. The ball needs to do the work. Keep passing, move into space, get the ball back, progress play, create chances, score. And if Sheshko is the one that's starting that game, provide him service. We did see that whenever Sheshko was getting service, he was getting those balls. He was trying to score goals. He was trying to finish those passes. He was trying to be clinical. United need to continue providing him service. United need late runners to the box. Newcastle are not known to have those low blocks. But one thing I liked about a post I saw today on X is there's a football analyst who say that teams now are playing against United to stop United from scoring because the tactic is different now, the formation is different. Under Ruben Amorim, the pattern was known, the formation was known, so it was easy to play against United because they will just possess the ball, keep passing it backward, sideways, create chances. Yes, under Amorim there was a high XG, but it was still easy to defend. It was still easy to pass through to go through the press. But with Carrick, teams are scared because there is more transitional play, there is more intent when it comes to attacking. Carrick has invested a lot in terms of making sure the players are moving forward. They are progressing play forward to score goals. So teams are trying to counter that. You saw West Ham do it perfectly. United could have lost that game, but they didn't. Good thing they didn't. So Newcastle are not known to have that low block. They are known also to be very expressive, to be very physical. So United need to just keep moving the ball quicker. And Newcastle are at home. They have that home advantage. They have the home crowd. So Manchester United need to play like a big club. They need to show Newcastle that we came here to solidify top three. Because dropping points today gives advantage to Aston Villa, gives advantage to Liverpool, gives advantage to Chelsea. So beating a team, I think now I'm also answering some of your questions. Looking at that game, Newcastle, United need to beat Newcastle because United are yet to play Aston Villa, United are yet to play Liverpool and Chelsea, the second leg. So if they get more points on board before they meet these teams and then they beat these teams or even draw, let's assume United keep winning, meet Chelsea, draw, they'll still have points above Chelsea, a point above Chelsea. Let's say they meet Liverpool. Liverpool are coming to Old Trafford. They beat Liverpool. They solidify their position above Liverpool and Chelsea. They beat Aston Villa. They solidify top three. They move closer to top two. So it's a must win. So the key battles, midfield. United need to have a very solid midfield. They can't allow Newcastle to boss the midfield. They can't allow. The other thing Manchester United need to be careful about is yellow cards. When you look at Newcastle games, there are usually a lot of yellow cards because of the physicality. You look at the Newcastle games, teams get yellow cards, 2, 3, 4 yellow cards because of physicality. Manchester United also need to be careful not to increase their injury count. So those are the key battles. Let me know what you think. Did I miss anything out when it comes to key battles? Newcastle versus United. Wayne, bigger Wayne. You're saying Joe Linton might injure one of our players. Yes. Joe Linton is very physical. Joe Linton is, even Tonali is very physical. You look at those Newcastle players, United players Manchester United players risk getting injuries, So it's a game that's why I'm saying Manchester United need to keep moving the ball quicker, not hold on to it, not try to dribble a lot. You can't have some dribbles to get out of a tricky situation, but let the ball move, keep passing around. I wouldn't mind seeing some sort of tiki-taka triangles, samosas, that is. I don't mind seeing that kind of play. Keep moving the ball quicker. If United players move the ball quicker, they reduce the risk of injuries, as well as in case a Newcastle player goes in for a sliding tackle and the ball has already been released, they get a yellow, second yellow, red card, advantage to United. Also, United need to score fast. We can't always be in this situation where United concede and then now it's like they are fighting to come back and win. Score the first one, score the second one. Make sure it's like 2-0 at halftime. 1-0. Yeah. Let me see whether there is any other comment before we go to the next section. Nope. Nope. So looking at the predicted lineup, it was a tricky situation to sort out because I was looking at the team news. Shaw and Maguire being doubts. I was like, who do I place? So let's just have a look at the predicted lineup here. This was my predicted lineup, guys. This was my predicted lineup. So I went with let me call it Carrick's default. Carrick's default lineup, the one he's been using the one he was using when he started his second interim role. So the only change I made there was Mazraoui coming on for sure. I still believe Maguire is fit, should be fit for that game. So I went with Lamens, Mazraoui at left back, Maguire, Yoro, Dalot, the back four, and then Mainu and Casemiro as the two pivots. And then I went with Cunha on the left, Bruno, number 10, Ahmad. I'm bringing back Ahmad as a right wing, and then I'm having Bumo up top. So that's my predicted lineup. The reason as to why I went with this is I would prefer Sheshko to come on in the second half and completely change the game, because bringing on a striker, the Newcastle team coach or manager needs to now think about making subs. Of course, substitutions usually disrupt play. Sheshko will also invoke a change of tact from Manchester United. So that's the sort of lineup I'm going for. And the fact that Newcastle usually push guys to defend high, to attack the ball. Having Bumo there, Ahmad, Cunha, they are good dribblers. They will win free kicks. They will win set pieces for United. They will cause trouble. So that's the lineup I will go for. The front four, basically. Because as I've said, those are dribblers. They are ball carriers. They are good on the counter. They can be able to give Newcastle defenders issues. Now, the reason as to why it was tricky for me to decide between starting Sheshko and benching Ahmad, having Bumo on the right, is when it comes to set pieces, Newcastle have a lot of height in their defense. So when it comes to crosses, when it comes to corners, when it comes to free kicks, Newcastle have height at the back. They have tall players at the back. So Sheshko would be a good player to play in that sort of setup. If United want to put in crosses, if United have a lot of set pieces, then Sheshko will be ideal. Because also Sheshko is good physically. He can be able to fend off defenders. He can be able to chase down the ball. Can be able to interlink play between Cunha, Bruno, and Mbumo. He can do that. We know he's good at chasing the ball down, holding off defenders. He's also good at headers. So that's why I was saying I was caught in two minds. Who do I start? Because this lineup, the reason as to why I went with this lineup first is to do with counterattacks, transition, dribbling to get set pieces. Now, when we come to set pieces, corners, free kicks, Sheshko is good. He's good at fending off defenders, headers. If United want to go over the top, play the ball behind the defenders, Sheshko is good with those runs. Sheshko is good with holding up play as well and bringing others into the game. So I wouldn't mind Sheshko starting, Ahmad still starting on the bench, Mbumo being on the right. So that's my predicted lineup. Let me know what you think about it. Also, yeah, share your predicted lineup. Let's discuss about the lineup before we go to the score prediction. Any comments? Nope. Today guys are not active. Today guys are not really active. What's going on? Are you shy, guys? Are you shy? Are you shy? Are you guys shy? You need to post comments. Make this interactive. Make this interactive. So, um, looking at the score prediction, I would go for 2-1 United win. 2-1 United win. I always put a 1 for the opponents because United keeping clean sheets, it's once in a while. United currently are not so good at having clean sheets, finishing games off with clean sheets. United are not good at it. And as I've said, Newcastle have tall players. And one of the weaknesses Manchester United have, although it's not so much of late, is defending set pieces like corners, like free kicks. For example, the Crystal Palace game, it was a set piece. It was a corner. A looping header went in. So I'm going for a 2-1 win, a very, very tight, very difficult 2-1 win, because I don't expect that game to be easy for United. I'm not saying that to mean that being negative. No, it's just that the Newcastle fixture of late has been very difficult, very tricky for United. You look at the 1-0 win. Of course, Amorim played a back four, a 4-2-3-1, and it took a dog goal to win that game. It wasn't an easy game, and it was at Old Trafford. So I believe in Carrick. I believe in Steve. I believe in his coaching staff that they have a solution for this. And it's good to see United playing games in midweek. It's usually boring to wait a whole week for the next game. So United need to win this. It will build confidence. So I'm going for a 2-1 win. Let me know your score prediction. Wayne is saying 3-1. Yeah, 3-1 is also a good score line. So Wayne, it seems you're also like me. You are not sure that United will keep a clean sheet. One thing I wouldn't want anyway in that game is to stay up late watching that game and then it ends up in a boring draw. Also, I wouldn't want United to put us in a situation where we start ranting in the game. Tomorrow, we are going to have a watch along for it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, click on it so that when we go live for the watch along, you're here with us. You're here with me for the watch along. So I wouldn't want to stay up late. And then it ends up being a very, very boring draw, you know? That will be discouraging, to be honest. Because if the game is starting at 11:15 Kenyan time, UTC +3 or GMT +3, so basically looking at the game ending at around 1 a.m. So sometimes these late night games are very, very tricky because you can win, wake up in a good mood. That is, United can win, you wake up with a good mood, or United have a boring draw or lose, and then you wake up all grumpy. You go to the office and then everyone is bantering you, you're all moody and grumpy, you know. Football has a funny way of sometimes or most of the time dictating our moods. So I wouldn't want a boring draw. I wouldn't, even if it's a 1-1 or a 0-0. No, United need to win. United need to win. So let me read some of the comments, and then now we start having a chat about other news that are making rounds across the United space. So Wayne, you're saying it will be tricky. Set pieces will definitely be involved. Yeah. So funny thing is about this season, this EPL season, is that most goals are set piece goals. Teams are scoring a lot of set piece goals. Now, every team has decided to go the Arsenal way. Corners, long throw-ins, and they win matches. For example, that Chelsea-Arsenal game, all goals were set pieces. So set pieces will play a key factor in this game. This is the sort of game, it's more or less like a high-profile game It's like United are playing one of the big six. It's like City or Arsenal kind of situation, because United need the 3 points. So they have to have a big performance. They have to limit the number of corners they give out. And if they do, they are well prepared to defend it. Newcastle have height. They have tall players, tall physical players. So they'll start pushing around in those set pieces. And Lamens needs to be very, very strong and have command in that box. United also need to start scoring those corners again. I don't think United have scored from a corner since Tottenham game. I'm trying to remember all goals scored. Have United scored from a corner since the Tottenham game? So United also need to mix and match, because if Newcastle have height in defense and they get a corner, they can try the set piece they did versus Tottenham. It might end up being a very good goal, you know. So Wayne, I agree with you. Set pieces will be tricky and they will be involved. You also add and say we can't keep a clean sheet. Yeah. Yes, a draw will really be bad for us. Right now, a draw or a loss will change a lot of things for United. United fans right now are very high in terms of hype. They're hyped up. They are very optimistic. Everything is working well. Top three. Everything is happening perfectly. So one bad result, it brings the trauma back. It peels the healing wounds, you know? And we don't want such kind of a performance, result that is. So is it realistic for United to win all the remaining games? Probably not. Probably not. They can. They can. There is a probability United can win all the remaining matches, but a poor result, especially in games that are winnable, like Newcastle, like Aston Villa, those games are winnable, like Leeds. It will start bringing back those bad vibes. And considering how the United fan base right now is divided when it comes to results, performance. Yesterday we had that debate, that discussion about results versus performance. Fans are divided about Amorim and Carrick. Fans are divided about short-term goals, long-term goals. Fans are divided about realism of whether United can actually maintain top four. So one bad result, then United drops out of top four. Things will go crazy. Because some guys will start saying, I told you so. I told you this was a new manager bounce. I told you this was just the honeymoon period. This is the real United. So it's the same thing that's happening right now. I told you Amorim was the problem. I told you this team is good. So now it will flip. The script now will flip. The guys who have been pinned down right now will rise up and have some sort of excuse to start bashing the other side. So at the end of the day, as I said yesterday, United fans need to be united, not divided. So one bad result shouldn't start a whole debate, especially now that guys are also starting to question Carrick and his ability. A lot of fans are saying he deserves the job. For me, I keep saying if he continues performing well, United finish in the top three or even top two, who knows, or top four, basically gets Champions League. Give him the chance. Give him the chance. Probably give him a short-term contract, like 2 years. Use him to rebuild the squad. Then now, get a serious manager in once the squad has been rebuilt, because he's doing something with the squad. He's winning, you know. So Wayne, a draw will be really bad. A draw will be really bad. Mambo. Good to see you. Big up, big up. You are saying we ain't losing tomorrow. Yeah. The reason as to why I'm hesitating to say I agree with this because the last time I was confident United are winning was the West Ham game, and I was really disappointed. But United have to win tomorrow. United have to win tomorrow. The thing with this United team, you don't know whether they'll turn up or not. Like they gave us a very big scare in that Crystal Palace game. That first half was horrible. That first half was horrible. In fact, a lot of fans, when you discuss with them about that game, they'll say the red card helped a lot. That penalty, the penalty and the red card helped a lot. You look at how United were playing the first half, it wasn't good enough. But United have to win tomorrow. Mambo, I agree with you. We are not losing. It's a must win. It's a must win. When you're saying we really need the 3 points, we do. It's not even need. I think need is an understatement. If you're honest, need is an understatement. It's more like oxygen for United. United missing out on 3 points at this stage of the season. It will be very detrimental to top four hopes. Because let me open the table again. Let me see whether I can open the table again here. Why are you lagging? So my internet has been wonky today. So also, guys, let me know whether I'm lagging on your end because the internet has been really, really wonky. So looking at that table, United are third with 51 points, level on points with Aston Villa, but United have a bigger goal difference of plus 12, Aston Villa plus 8. Then in fifth place is Liverpool with 48 points. Chelsea are sixth with 45. So if United were to draw points, assuming United lose, Aston Villa, who are Aston Villa playing next? Let me just check. Aston Villa are playing who next? They are playing Chelsea. So they are playing each other, Aston Villa and Chelsea. So one of them has to drop points, or both of them have to drop points. If it's a draw, both of them drop. If Aston Villa win and United lose, Aston Villa go above United. If United draw, Aston Villa win, Aston Villa are back to third place. But now, if Liverpool wins, United lose, Liverpool will have 51 points. But United have a better goal difference. So it depends on how many goals United lose by. Because United have a plus 12, Liverpool has a plus 10. So assuming Chelsea win, they'll be on 48 points. Aston Villa will stay at 51. If United lose, they'll stay at 51. So one loss, assuming even Liverpool win, but Liverpool can win with 2+ goals. So if Liverpool win with, let's say, a difference of 3 goals, then they go to third place. United drop to fourth. Aston Villa drop to fifth. Chelsea maintain sixth. So permutations, as you can see, they are all permutations. They are all permutations. So United can't afford a loss. Because if I look at the fixtures, the United coming fixtures, they play Newcastle tomorrow, then Aston Villa. So if United beat Newcastle, United beat Aston Villa, it means that they'll have 3 points difference if Aston Villa beat Chelsea. If Aston Villa draw to Chelsea or draw with Chelsea, United will have a not goal difference. They'll have a 3-point difference. If let me repeat that again. If Manchester United beat Newcastle and Aston Villa lose to Chelsea, there'll be a 3-point difference. So United solidify that top 3. If United beat Aston Villa on Sunday, sorry, then that difference in points goes to 6. If Aston Villa draw with Chelsea, United beat Newcastle, then it will be a difference of 2 points. But if United draw to Newcastle and draw to Aston Villa, then you're looking at Liverpool going above United. The permutations, mahesabu, mahesabu. When you're saying I think set pieces are not so bad, but whatever Everton were doing is just wrong. Yeah, it's just wrong. I hope they change the rules. Apparently, there is a loophole in the rule. I thought that the goalkeeper was invincible; no one could touch him. But nowadays, you find that players are finding a way to circumvent the rule. One of the tactics I've seen a lot of teams doing. I watch a lot of football in the EPL. Even if I don't watch live, I make sure I watch replays. Is that you find that the opponent is not really pushing the goalkeeper. The opponent is pushing the an opponent towards or against his own keeper. So let's say if it's Maguire, he starts pushing someone like Tonali towards the Newcastle goalkeeper. So when they look at it, when VR look at it, they say, no, you clashed with your own player. So it's a goal. You remember that Arsenal winning goal. Sanchez was complaining, but it's a Chelsea player that blocked him. So it's not a foul. So you find opponents are not actually blocking the keeper. They're not even pushing him. They're not even touching the keeper. What they are doing is they are pushing an opponent towards their own keeper. So the rule needs to be changed somehow. And it's difficult. It's difficult because you can't now say we are going to have a 1 yard area where the keeper is free. How do you actually fix the rule? Because the only rule change I'm seeing is probably they say if an opponent touches a keeper or blocks a keeper from jumping to the ball, then it's a foul. But yet again, how will corners be scored if you ask opponents or if you ask players not to contest the ball with the keeper? So it's it's a really tricky situation. It's a really tricky situation. It's a tricky situation because players now know, coaches have seen. All you just need to do is hold on to the opponent, push him towards the keeper. And then when the ball is kicked, shove him, let him block his own keeper, then jump for the ball. That's what they are doing. That's what they are doing. Wayne, you're saying, or United win the league, give him the chance. Why not? Why not? I mean, looking at that table, the difference between Arsenal and United is 13 points. There have been teams that have been 13 points ahead and still lost the title. United were 11, I think 11 points ahead when City won the title. When Aguero scored that goal. Was it versus Sunderland or was it versus Stoke? I can't remember. Was it QPR? I think it was QPR or something. Can't remember. Yeah, United were comfortably leading. A couple of draws, a couple of losses. City won with goal difference. So it's possible that anything can happen. Anything can happen. Because looking at 10 remaining games, of course, Arsenal have played one more. United can't close down the gap to 10 points. 10 points. 10 points, those are how many games? 3 losses and 4 losses. Also, United can't make to go to second place because the difference between City and United are 8 points. Those are 3 losses. If City get 3 losses, United get 3 wins, they go to second place. So Wayne, yeah, if he wins the league, why not? But the way Carrick has shown so far, he deserves. Ahmed, you're saying tomorrow is a draw? I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. When you're saying you have a chance statistically, yes, statistically, the probability is slim, but there is a probability that United can actually win the league. That United can actually win the league. Because if the point difference, if United win tomorrow and the point difference goes down to 10, 10 points is still a good gap to close down with 9 games to go. Because 9 games, you're looking at how many points? 20? Oh, my math. My math is not good. 27 points. Yeah, 27 points remaining. So, yeah. So that has been the preview. Tomorrow we'll be live for the watch along. So make sure you also subscribe. We've had 1 subscriber. Welcome to the UKG squad. We have 1 subscriber on YouTube. We are currently at 692. We started the show at 691. I think we also got 3 more subscribers today. Because yesterday was 688, 687. Yeah, so we are growing on YouTube. So make sure guys on TikTok, especially guys on TikTok, if you haven't subscribed to YouTube, I'm pointing to this screen because TikTok is on this screen, YouTube is on the other screen. Make sure you come over to YouTube, you hit the subscribe button. We also do offline videos. So any last question, comment? I'll just mention about the news, some of the news in the last 8 minutes. Probably highlight 1 or 2 because it's been really active for United. It's really been active for United. Things seem to be happening and not happening. So some of the reports coming out is the list of midfielders is solidifying. So I'm looking at my notes here. So most of the reports revolve around the 2 Newcastle players, that is Guimaraes and Tonali. And reports state that United are ready to spend big on both players. They are ready to spend up to £200 million on both players. Obviously, Newcastle wouldn't want to let both midfielders live on the cheap. Newcastle, it's like they are crumbling. The project is not working out. When they were bought, everyone thought that they will be like City. They will have blank checks. They will have a lot of money to go around and buy whoever they want, buy and sell, just like City do. But for some reason, they are bound by PSR. Also, looking at how the rules apply, the financial rules apply, you also have to generate revenue. You can't just use owner money. You can't just use sugar daddy money to buy players. You have to actually account for it. Where did you get the money from? You can't say the owners. No. You have to generate revenue. And of course, clubs don't want to go the City way, where you have some lingering fines and sanctions coming your way because you violated the transfer rules, you violated the financial policies. Because City are in danger of actually being relegated. Last week, there were reports that the Premier League will deduct up to 40 points. So meaning teams like United, Liverpool, Arsenal would get the Premier League trophies that Man City won during that period. And the report was also stating that they will be relegated and the championship, the EFL will not allow them to play in championship and they will have to drop way down, start from there. They'll have to start from the most bottom league, then find their way up back to the Premier League. So also teams are looking at that and they are saying, as much as, yes, we have owners that have money, we have to get revenue. So if you look at Newcastle, they don't really generate a lot of revenue compared to clubs like Arsenal, City, United, Liverpool. They don't. Because if you're spending 100 million on a player, you have to actually state, yes, our revenue was good enough. Our yearly revenue was good enough to afford the 200, 150 million pounds. You look at a club like Real Madrid, they generate a lot of revenue. So it's easy for them to go and buy a player at 100, 150. You look at Barcelona. Barcelona right now can't sign players because they have issues with finances. The rules are tight. Both the Spanish La Liga rules, the Spanish FA rules, that is, and the UEFA rules are very strict. They are very, very strict. That's why you see Barcelona trying to renegotiate the Rashford fee. It's only 30 million euros. It's a small amount compared to what Barcelona can do, because we've seen Barcelona buy players for 100 plus million. For example, Coutinho. But now they are negotiating a 30 million euro amount. They're actually asking United whether they can pay that fee in 3 installments, 10 million each year. So Newcastle, back to Newcastle. So you look at Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonali. They are looking to leave because now the project has gone bust. The project is no longer there. So they are looking at going to clubs that are also in the Champions League. Newcastle won't make it the Champions League, and if they do, they usually don't progress. So players like Tonali are looking at their careers. Bruno Guimaraes are looking at their careers, and they are saying, "Hey, I'm getting to my prime. At least let me play for one top club, even if it's not in the EPL. I need to platform myself in a competition like Champions League." So that now brings in interest from clubs like United, clubs like City. We know City are looking for Rodri's replacement. So when they hear someone like Tonali is available, they would also have to try. Chelsea are always in for the next big name. When they hear the clubs are scouting or want to buy certain players, they also throw their name in the hat to stop opponents from buying players. So the other names on that list, that midfielder list, are Carlos Baleba, Adam Wharton, Elliot Anderson, Mateus Fernandes, and of course I've mentioned Tonali. So the list is like solidifying. The list of midfielders that United want is solidifying. Now, yesterday I mentioned that reports are stating that Manchester United will only have 250 million pounds to spend. And that is if they make the Champions League. If they don't, then they are looking at a budget of below 100 million pounds. United need a lot of players. I think now I'm going back to one of the questions I was asked about transfers. United need at least 8 players. 8, in my opinion. At least 8. United need a second striker. United need a CDM, a CM. United need the fullbacks, that is left back, right back. And United need a CAM as well. Because if Bruno gets injured, then you're having a tricky situation. United also need a left winger. Currently, United don't have a good option to replace Cunha. So looking at that, United need the two fullbacks, right back, left back. United need a CDM, a CM. United need a second striker, because I don't think Chido is ready for the top leagues. United also need a good second goalkeeper, because if Lamens gets injured, will we trust Onana if he's coming back? Will we trust Bayandia? I don't think so. You also look at the third goalkeeper. No. So United can't shelve that with Radek Vitek. Radek Vitek is an academy player. He's playing well. He can come and become the second choice keeper. So at least that one is debatable. You look at United, they need a left winger. United needs a CAM, a good replacement for Bruno, in case anything happens, suspension, injuries, or if he decides to leave mid-year. And you look at United, if they are going to play in the Champions League, those are more games. So they need to have a good squad. Right now, United is the most unbalanced squad. I keep mentioning that. Half of the registered squad in the EPL are defensive players. That is goalkeepers, defenders, and midfielders. You look at also players that are leaving. Casemiro is leaving. Ugarte, of course, I think his case is sealed. Maguire, not sure whether he'll stick around. Players like Martinez might also be sold because of their injury record. Mount might also be sold. So next summer, we are looking at the squad becoming even worse, becoming even thinner, the list growing shorter in terms of squad options. So United have to make good use of the academy and that 250 million transfer kitty. They can't go for 20, 30, 40 million pound worth of players, but they need to be smart. United need to be smart in terms of getting players that they know, number one, they are ready to play for United. They can handle the pressure. And number two, they don't need a lot of time to settle into the EPL. So they can go to the Bundesliga, Spanish La Liga, they can go to Portugal, they can go to France, get those players. But their scouting has to be on point. For example, like the way Lamens came into the league and he settled down very quickly. United right now are not in a situation where they can afford to buy a project player, a player that will come in and will be good in the next 3 years. No. Looking at how the squad will be next year, United need to be very, very, very smart. Very, very smart. So I also wanted to highlight this. I said I forgot the name, but United are also doing well in terms of backroom stuff. Where are my notes? Yes, there you go. So Manchester United have appointed recruiter Ian Broomfield to help identify talent for the first team within the under 21 market, similar to the signing of Aiden Heaven. So these are the smart moves that I'm saying. You go for a person like Aiden Heaven, he's not yet mature, he's not yet at his prime, but he can do a job for United in the first team squad, whether it's in the starting 11 or as a sub. So those are the sort of signings United need to go for. And to see this appointment of Ian Broomfield, it's a good strategy. One thing we have to give credit to Ineos for doing is they are trying to sort out the backroom stuff. The medical department, the scouting department right now is good. United have always had a very good scouting department. It's just that the scouting department, the recruitment has not been aligned. They identify good players, but the board decides to sign other players for commercial reasons. So, for example, United identified Haaland, United identified Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. All of them were identified by United before even they went to the next club. For example, United identified Haaland before he went to Dortmund. United identified Sheshko when he was still 19. Caicedo when he was still in Ecuador playing there. They identified him. He was available for 4 million. The board said that it's too expensive. They decided to go for a Galactico type of signing. So having such kind of a recruiter appointed, it's good. There are players out there who are playing the under 21s or are reserves in other teams that can come to United within a short period of time. They are very good starting players or part of the playing squad, the 18 that are selected. So I also wanted to highlight that because it's big news. It's big news. And with Christopher Vivell being there, I'm sure United will make the right moves. I hope that Jason Wilcox is aligned with his team. I wouldn't want a DOF who's making signings because they like a certain player. I would want a DOF that's making decisions for the good of the club. Like I'm seeing reports about Delap, that Wilcox still wants Delap. I'm like, he's already gone to Chelsea. It's a big club, high pressure, and he's not performing. What will happen if he comes to United? Do we want to gamble? Another name that I've mentioned as part of the list is Baleba. Since he was linked to United, his performance has dipped. He's not playing well. It's like the pressure got to him. His head got turned and he's not performing well. Can we really trust him to come now to United and perform? Will he be able to handle the fan pressure? Because United fans are brutal. You look at a player like Kobe right now, he's doing okay. He's young, he's doing okay. Looking at his age, he's doing okay. He's playing good football. He's playing better than Ugarte, but some United fans are very critical about his performance. You look at Sheshko, United fans have been very critical. You look at Yoro, we've been critical on him. So if Baleba comes to United and currently he is not able to handle the pressure of being linked to United, he's not even playing for United. United didn't even have like a failed bid on him. It's just that he was really looking forward to that move. It didn't happen. Then psychologically, something happened. So will he come to United and still perform? Who knows? Probably he will change. So Christopher Vivel, Jason Wilcox, Berada, everyone in that backroom staff, they need to be aligned. They need to have their targets in. Yeah. So let me read a couple of comments before I end the live. When you're saying you'd take Tonali and Anderson, those are very good options. And I'm sure if United got to the Champions League, they would actually attract them. The only hurdle would be if other clubs offer them bigger salaries. So, for example, if City got to Anderson, if they had a sit down with Anderson and told him, we are going to give you 250 million pounds per week. Yeah, you might sit on the bench a couple of games because Rodri is still there, but we will sell Rodri. Next season, you'll be starting 11. You will say, oh, 250 million pounds just sitting on the bench, playing some games here and there. Why not? Because United right now, I don't think they can offer more than 190, 200K a week. They are looking at actually letting players on high salaries go. Because United are broke. United are broke. United are broke. So with UCL, it could attract top talents. But now, if those top talents were offered more salaries, and of course they look at a team like City that's always challenging for trophies, they would prefer a move. It's more or less like the Semenyo deal. It's more or less like the Semenyo deal. Lonzo, big up, big up. You've been missing for a while, but big up, big up. Good to see you. Good to see you back. You are saying this match is making me tensed, making me have a tensed moment. Same here. Same here. That's why I'm saying it's a must win. I don't want to say United will win. I'm nervous. I'm tensed. Because for me, every game is a cup final. I have that cup final feeling. It's like do or die. So let's see. Let's see how it goes tomorrow. Any other comments? Dalo, when you're saying Dalo needs to play well, I think it's time United let him go. There was a time last year I said for United to go to the next level, for United to get out of this situation they are in, to go to the next level, they need to get rid of all of those old guards. They need to actually rebuild the entire squad. I even said, even players like Bruno, start transitioning them out. Get players in as you're transitioning out the old players. Because United have had a poor habit when it comes to replacing players. So, for example, right now they should go for a young number 10 or take a player like Kobe and tell him, start shadowing Bruno, start studying from him, start working with him so that whenever we need you to play 10, you can play 10. Or they go to the market or they go to the academy, identify a young number 10 who will start shadowing Bruno. You look at the defense right now, Euro and Heaven, they're actually having good development because they are shadowing senior players like Delict, like Martinez, like Maguire. So when they are asked to come on, they will just continue with that flow. There is continuity. One of the things I loved about Ferguson, and Pep is borrowing from the same book, is Ferguson used to think ahead. He used to start getting players in after 1 or 2 seasons, 2 seasons, they are starting 11. You look at Fabio and Rafael, they were understudies. And when they were playing for United, they started playing well. You look at Smalling and Phil Jones, they were shadowing Vidic and Ferdinand. And when they started playing for United consistently, other than Phil Jones getting those injuries, they were still good defenders. So United have a bad habit of replacing old players, aging players. So like right now, Bruno is 31. He won't play forever. Even if he'll play until he's 40, his performances will start declining. We'll start seeing Bruno walking more, not making a lot of runs because he has to adapt based on his age. So get a young number 10 right now or identify someone in the club that can be a replacement early. You look at City, they usually buy a player 1 or 2 seasons ahead. 1 or 2 seasons ahead. They replaced Grealish long time ago, before he even left. So you look at Rodri, they'll start buying a replacement now in anticipation that if Rodri is sold in 1 or 2 seasons, they are ready to come and play. But United, it's more reactionary. United are not proactive. They react to a situation. For example, Eriksen left. We haven't had a replacement for Eriksen. Let's even go way back, way back. They knew Scholes, Carrick would retire one day. They did not do a good job replacing them. Pogba, Matic, all of them were there. Were there any young midfielders that came on? Probably McTominay, probably Fred. But still, when it didn't work out, it started becoming reactionary. They start running around De Jong. Then they end up buying Casemiro. So Bruno won't be here for long. Even if he's here, he will start declining. You saw how City handled the De Bruyne situation. City bought replacements while De Bruyne was at the club. Right now, they have someone, he's not playing at the level of De Bruyne, but they have someone capable of filling in that gap. So, yeah, United need to start making those. Yeah, Musiala at number 10. Is he back from injury? Is Musiala back from injury? That leg break. The issue with the leg break is players usually struggle when they come back, but he will be a good number 10. We also have good number 10s in the academy. I mean, start playing them in some games, especially next season when United start having a lot of games. Play them. Rest Bruno in some games. Oh, yeah, he's back. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that was a nasty leg break. El Gringo, good to see you. You are saying good evening, UKG. Hope you are well and doing well. Hope you had a lovely day today. Yes, I had a lovely day today. I really enjoyed it. As I end the show, El Gringo. I watched a couple of movies today. I took the day off. Still recovering from illness, so I took the day off to rest. So I decided to watch some of those old shows. Those old shows. So one of the old shows I was watching was why am I now forgetting the name? Falling Skies. I started rewatching Falling Skies. It's one of the sci-fi series that I enjoyed watching. So yeah, I had a good day. So see you tomorrow for the live watch along. I hope to see you tomorrow. For guys in Kenya and other parts of the world, it might be late in the evening or it might be early in the morning. So and I'll make sure I don't doze off like the Everton game. El Gringo are saying you will be okay, bro. Yeah, I'll be okay. I'm almost done with the meds. It's been a tough period for me, but you guys give me the energy. You guys give me the energy to keep going. So, yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Cheers and bye bye.